Classes remain canceled for today at the University of Virginia as the campus mourns the death of 3 of the school's football players who were killed, along with 2 others who were injured by a gunman on Sunday night. Hundreds attended a candlelight vigil in their honor. The shooting, one of the 2 deadly incidents of violence on college campuses just in the last 48 hours. For more, let's welcome in former Homeland Security Department advisor, former Secret Service Special Agent Charles Marino. Charles, thanks for joining us this morning. So police have in custody the alleged gunman who shot those 3 UVA football players dead. The suspect, he was listed on the university's website as a football player, not a current football player, but he was listed as he had played in the past. Was this a targeted attack? What do you know maybe his motive may have been?
Morning, Allison. Yeah, we have to assume that there was a prior relationship here with respect to the shooting between the suspect and the victims at the University of Virginia based on the football dynamic. I think we know more information with respect to what happened at that college campus as opposed to the University of Idaho. That may be a more random attack, although we can't say that with any certainty. But back at UVA, it looks like the football connection is going to be part of this perception of being wronged by the suspect here. Now, he was taken alive by police, so we should get some answers with respect to motive and where he got the weapon from. But I think that football connection is going to be key in figuring this out. And again, the perception by the suspect may not necessarily make sense to the general public. For some reason, this suspect had a thought that caused him to take action against these fellow football players. And it shows that these college campuses, unfortunately, are not exempt from violent crime.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time, whether it's college or high school or even elementary school shooting. This wasn't your typical school shooter. It doesn't look like he was trying to take down as many people as he could. As you mentioned, it may have some sort of connection to him being on the football team. But it's still not surprising to hear that Christopher Jones, who is the suspect, was on campus's authorities' radar. Do you know anything more about this?
It seems like there was a prior investigation related to hazing that didn't go any further. They could not get the cooperation, according to reports from some of the folks that were involved in that. But this is not uncommon, Allison, in the general sense of these school-type shootings, because typically we do find that these people are on the radar of authorities and school officials before an attack like this occurs. How it is handled often indicates the outcome. Did this suspect have mental health issues that school officials were aware of? Did they seek to get him help? Or was there other deconfliction efforts that needed to be done with this suspect that evidently did not work? So we need more information from the school. We definitely need to get more information from the suspect as well.
Yeah, Charles, I want to quickly move on to Idaho, where 4 students were found dead in a house just outside the University of Idaho's campus in Moscow. Charles, what's the latest information coming out of Idaho?
So police are referring to that incident as a homicide, which leads me to believe that they are concluding for multiple reasons that this was more along the lines of street crime. Was this an attempted robbery of these kids? A burglary at the home where they were? So we need a lot more information from police on this. What I can tell you is that both these locations they have robust school police forces that also work with city law enforcement agencies and state law enforcement agencies. So these are typically very safe locations, but I think we're going to be looking at 2 different types of situations here. The commonality is that we have a gun problem here.
Yeah.
If it's street crime, we're going to see that it's an illegal gun that was used with respect to Idaho. And then with respect to UVA, we've got to find out how this suspect got his hands on a gun, either legally or from somebody who obtained it legally, like a family member.
Yeah, hopefully we'll know a little bit more later on. It's just so sad, Charles, that we talk about this time and time again, whether it's elementary schools or colleges. Charles Marino, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the
truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
real news
For real people.